because we feel like it's the secret, and it's not a secret. Business in itself is not a secret, because without the public, who you have to actually interact and trade with, whether it's services or goods or whatever, those are the people you are going to need to bring those expertise to. So in order to sharpen up your skills, it doesn't mean you always have to go and get a degree in this or diploma in this. Sometimes your idea and a good business plan will definitely put you on the right path towards there. But it doesn't end there, because you have to protect your business. You have to protect your business. And I don't mean protect against criminals and theft. Protect the image of your business. Protect the integrity of your business by good service. Protect the premises. And protect the ideology of your business by living the ideology. So we lost that out in the township economy. We tripped and fell on our faces there because I think we got relaxed. Once upon a time, the township economy, I'm talking spaza shops and things of that nature, saloons, used to put entire families of children, maybe 5 children, through school, through varsity. And once they finish, they start plowing back into the family. But that same shop, it's still selling the same things. But for years and years, what was that? That was consistency. That was community-based. Even when you're tired, you know, especially the ones or maybe close to your house. They know where to buy because they're loyal. We lost that loyalty. We've got mud on our faces, but we pick up we lick our wounds, Mr. Mlungwana, and we have to move forward. How do we move forward? Well, I think that's maybe what you're here to discuss with us, Namhlanje.
Yes, sir.
Welcoming to the program today. If you've been in and around Gqeberha or East London, and you haven't seen those white vehicles with the orange branding, I don't know whether it's your eyes or the orange is too bright that you have to look away. But either way, the presence is there, showing that there's movement, showing that, especially when you see the name that you can relate to on the side of a vehicle, and you see that somebody's in there putting in hours of work so that they can bring something home and also grow the business, it means something is happening. But it can't just happen in one place. It cannot just happen in one place. It has to happen everywhere. And I think that's the premise behind the thought process, Butsizwe, that you have been planning to bring forward. What is it that we are fortunate enough to be in the presence of Namhlanje as far as the plan that you have?
Budram, thank you so much. First of all, let me thank the management, the staff of Ketengesi Radio, for the grace to have me in your beautiful studio. What a beautiful studio.
Thank you.
This is very, very impressive. So I really, really appreciate. My name, as you have mentioned, I'm Sizwe Mlungwana, born and bred here in East London. We started a company called Sizwe Mlungwana Properties in 2018 with my wife, Andy Siwe. And then in 2020, we opened a branch in Gqeberha.
Yes.
So right now we've got 2 branches, East London and Gqeberha. And our goal is to reach the world. But we have to populate South Africa first. We have to be, in all the provinces, all the cities, small and big cities, SADC countries, Africa, and the world. And it's going to happen because, we have faith that God will make it happen.
Yes.
It will happen. Why am I here? Tomorrow we are having an event. The name of the event is East London Entrepreneurship Dialogue.
Yeah.
And the theme of the event is moving to the front. Why the event? The event is born from a burden, we of how entrepreneurship has drifted away, or we drifted away from
it.
as Black people. You go to the townships, as you said. We used to have shops. We used to have tuck shops.
Yes.
We used to have, even though I don't agree with that part, but we used to have shebins that were run by Black people.
Shebins, butcheries,
saloons,
supermarkets.
I promise you, supermarkets. I'm telling you. We used to have a lot of things. We used to have petrol stations that were owned by our people.
Yes.
People who are born in the township.
Who live there.
And they will employ people there. And with time, I don't know what happened when freedom came to South Africa. These things began to move away from us. I'll just make an example for you. I wash my car here in Duncan Village.
Yeah.
The place where I wash my car, there is a tavern.
Yeah.
It's a well-known tavern. I won't mention the name.
Sure.
It's a well-known tavern. It's someone who has been in it for many years.
It's a well-known place.
I went inside to buy a cool drink because they were doing my car. To my surprise, it's owned by Chinese now. This just shows the how dire things are, how bad things are. We have become absent in entrepreneurship. It seems as if for all of us as Black people, entrepreneurship means tenders, and we are all going for this little piece of a pie. We all want it. We fight over it. We bewitch each other over this small piece. We hire hitmen over this small piece.
This tiny piece.
It's a small piece.
And it's insignificant in the big picture.
It's business government, basically. And government doesn't have a lot of money. Basically, we are fighting over crumbs, and we are all fighting over it. We do all sorts of things for this small piece. And, you find Black entrepreneurs who are successful in entrepreneurship, you are successful in tenders, but they are very few. They're very few. And it's very sad. It's very sad that we are all flocking for government, whereas there is a lot of business in the private sector.
Yeah.
And the purpose of the event is to rekindle the spirit of entrepreneurship in East London amongst our people, to inspire each other, to resurrect that vision that other people have been in business as entrepreneurs, but they are discouraged because of financial problems. One of the purposes is not only to inspire, but to revive, to revive that vision, to say, don't give up,
I think another challenge that we suffer from is that even when we are in business, how we run those businesses and maintain those businesses is usually part of the reason why the downfall is more than the successes. How we handle money, how we handle debt. You might get some work that needs or requires capital that you don't have in hand. And you get assistance from other people, but because they are not banks, you don't see them as a priority to pay them back.
Exactly.
And you don't know what people sacrificed in order to be able to assist you. So, I've seen examples of that, and I've seen examples of how people actually turn that around into something special. Now, how is the status quo in business, in Black business, in the sense of management as well?
You are so spot on. We are not. It seems as if we are not visionaries. It seems as if we are survivors. I always tell my team, we are not hustlers, we are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Because, it seems to me that hustling is about surviving. It's about, getting money for the rent to pay the car.
Sure.
Basically, you make money, for you to live on it. And business is not for that purpose. Business, you don't make money for your livelihood. No. Yes, you will take a very, very small portion for you to live. But
Yes.
it's a tiny portion. That's why you pay yourself a salary.
Yes.
A salary that is in line with the level of the business. But business is for visionaries, is for legacy builders. Is for people who want to impact lives. You say when you're a hustler, you are doing things, but you're thinking for you. You want to live a better life. You want to be able to be. You want to be debt free. A business,
And maybe that's what you know.
Yeah, but an entrepreneur thinks the future, thinks legacy, thinks impacting lives of many. Basically, you are sharing this little thing that you have with many people. So you don't want to eat alone. You employ many people. That is why one of the things that we do as a company, if I may make that example, is we have given opportunity as well as Sizomlungwana Properties to many people. Many people who knew nothing about the business, and today they are doing amazing work.
Wow.
So what I'm trying to say is, I think what you are saying about how we manage finances, it speaks to whether you see yourself as a hustler, which I call a survivor, which it's all about survivor. Or you are an entrepreneur, which is a visionary, a legacy builder, a life impactor,
a risk taker.
Of course, a risk taker. I'm glad you mentioned risk taker because I wanted to mention something. I was having a chat this other day with someone about Mama Batengsi Inyama by highway.
Yeah.
Now, when you go there, you see a mama who is 70 years old.
Yes.
Or 65.
Because she's been there even before you could see.
Now listen, I was born and raised at NU5B in Tanzania. You see these mamas, they've been there for 35 years. They've been there for 30 years. In other words, if this person today is 65, it means this person started there when she was 35. Okay, 35. If she started 30 years ago, when she was 35. Now, from that stand where she sells meat, ulusu, nyama, from that stand, she managed to take her children to university. And I was saying, do you see the potential of these things? It's powerful. But now, just as much as I appreciate the achievements that were made from that stand, I think fear is the one that made that person to be in that stand for the rest of her life. Because what is stopping this person from opening a butchery? One is going to say, butchery is expensive. If you can't take risks, as you have just mentioned, you can't be an entrepreneur. If you're going to want to play it safe, you are not going to grow.
Or stick to what you know because it's your comfort zone.
I promise you. You start a salon in your garage at home, and if you're an entrepreneur, you need to say to yourself, I'm going to take a risk. Open, a salon at Vincent, at Oxford Street,
Yes.
I'm going to take that risk. I'm going to market my business. I'm going to brand myself well. I'm going to be innovative because, yes, it's safe for me because I don't pay rent to have my salon at home. But it's entrepreneurship for me to go to Oxford Street, for me to go to Berea, to open a salon. Why? Because I'm a visionary. And entrepreneurs take risks. So that's what this thing is all about. We are about, resurrecting that spirit.
That's and that outlook, I think, is where people, anyone who's listening right now, is now like this.
Okay.
Because okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's involved in this and who should attend this event?
we were sponsored by IDZ, Israel IDZ. And at the last hour, we spoke to them and they opened their doors for us.
Amazing.
Thank you to their CEO, Mr. Simpiwa Kondlo, and his staff. He channeled me to really helpful people who really helped us. ECDC also came into the party. ECDC will also be part of our event.
Okay.
And then we have got established entrepreneurs who will be speaking on the day, and I will be speaking as well as the visionary of the whole concept. Another thing I'd like to mention about the event, other than the whole idea of resurrecting the spirit of entrepreneurship, we will also be establishing an entity, an entrepreneurship support entity, where it's all about helping people succeed in entrepreneurship. And it's going to be made up of us. I believe that when our brains are put together, a lot of things can be done. We can help take each other to the next level. There are things that we don't even want to talk because they seem like wild dreams. For example, why are we not talking about banking? Why are we not talking about mining? Why are we not talking about medical aid?
What's this? Avionics.
I promise you.
Aviation.
Why are we not talking about owning a media house? We are not talking about these things because it seems as if at the back of our minds, those things are too big they are not for us. Why are we not talking about big courier business where we have ships that can courier things all over the world? Why? It's because in our minds, it's like those things are for certain people. And when we are talking, joining these forces and to create this entity, it means we are saying, banking, you are next. It means property development, you are next. It means medical aid, you are next.
Targeted approaches.
It means retail business, you are next. It means before you know it, we're going to be opening a big retail, a grocery shop, a big one, not just a small thing. It means we know that we can occupy these spaces and actually lead. That's why the theme of the event is moving to the front. We're not going to sit at the back and be employees. We're going to be employers. We are going to be the ones who are going to be creating jobs for our people. And we think we are capable.
I've got some comments here before we continue with our scheduled questioning. Unolkolo Liliga Dumile Oti, we are listening. I think it's more of a reinforcement. Upatutol and Jamela Oti, what is your take on black business supporting each other like white people do? That's how the question was phrased.
Okay. There are two ways to look at this thing. I'm a black business person. It's good for me when my people support me. It's good. I mean, it's going to help boost me. But it's equally important for me to up my service. So that I don't only expect people to support my business, but I render a service that makes people want to come to me. So we cannot say black people must support black people when our service is horrible.
When quality assurance and things of that nature.
So equal to the expectation of the support is the quality of the service that we must give. And I think it needs a balance. It needs a balance. I need to be supported. I need to improve myself as well. I hope I'm answering.
Because I on this question, because you'll see it mostly on the public and in social media, where somebody will be like, I'm selling A, B, C, D, and E, inbox me for the price, and then at the end, support black business. That's the hook. When you go into the inbox, before you get the price, you're asked so many different things, which actually make you question the transaction.
Yeah.
Do I really,
Yeah.
or should I really?
Yeah.
Because this now is not a trustworthy source anymore. Because it's like, wait a minute. It's making you less and less confident in finalizing the transaction.
Yes.
By the time you've made your decision, it's not about black business anymore.
Exactly.
It's about, can I trust this service provider to do the work?
Exactly.
I would have loved to support if I had everything up front.
Oh, yeah.
Because if I go to one of the major retailers, for
Yeah.
instance, I can't go down the aisle and then everything that I want, I say, hey, how much is this? No. Come to the back passage there, I'll tell you about it. That's not a way,
Yeah.
you know?
So the quality is key.
Quality.
Yeah, we have to improve ourselves. I got a call this morning from a client who was expressing her unhappiness with one of our transactions.
Yeah.
And my response to her was, thank you so much for the criticism, because it's constructive.
Yeah.
If you don't criticize us, we will think that we are doing everything right. It's important.
Yes, to be quiet, silence is consent.
It's important that you criticize me. I cannot hide behind blackness.
No.
To kind of justify my incompetency or my lack of quality. It's like I'm saying, support me, even if I treat you bad, support me.
Because I'm who I am.
No, I must respect my clients. I must treat my clients well.
Yes. And you must give them the best, the very first property that you traded. That client's joy from that transaction needs to be every client's joy and even when they're not dealing with you directly, but anybody who's representing the brand. And we talk about this all the time, but I think it's great that we reinforce it like this. The last question is also, it's more of a comment. I have been in and around South Africa and in more than 5 countries in Africa, and can freely say our system of upbringing isn't helping our people. Most Africans are taught to start things from zero. Hence, we are taught to depend instead of being independent. I think it's a reinforcement on what's actually.
I'd like to touch on that. You see, one of the biggest weaknesses of us black people in South Africa, we are waiting for help before we can start. And that is a serious imperfection. That is a serious weakness of ours. We cannot wait for government to fund our things before we can start.
And help from an unknown source as well. We don't even know who we're waiting for help from.
I always say to people, start from where you are with what you have and grow from there.
Yeah.
The reason why people want funding, want a loan, is because they want to start big. When we started our company, it's embarrassing. We started with nothing. I remember we went to an auction house to buy second-hand tables. Each table was about 200 rands. That's what we couldn't afford to buy new furniture. But when you go to our office today, both offices have got brand new office. It's beautiful.
Yes.
It's really quality. It's really upmarket. But we didn't start there.
Exactly.
And a lot of times people don't start. They are waiting for funding from this government entity, and that is a waste of vision. We kill our vision when we wait. I'm sorry to mention his name. I spoke to Mr. Ngesi.
Yeah.
And I was quite touched on how he started. And that's how we should start. We start from where we are with what we have. We don't wait for government. You don't need handouts. Start from where you are, grow. And that's entrepreneurship.
And also seeing, if you start from where you are, that's when you can see how realistic or how feasible this thing that you're planning to do is on a small scale. Because if now you're looking for 10 million rand to start something that you haven't tested.
That means you're risking money.
And not yours at the end of the day as well.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
So can people still register?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Unfortunately, no. We have a slight challenge of numbers due to the COVID restrictions.
Yes.
As a result, we had to close, registration. But those who can't be there, please tune in to Keith Ngesi on Facebook.
Yes.
We go. Keith
We're gonna be
Ngesi is
streaming
one
from
of
there.
our sponsors. It's one of our
Fantastic.
sponsors. They are sponsors with live streaming. So it's gonna be. You can please share that information as to where to go for that. But it starts tomorrow at 6 p.m.
All right, so we'll talk about that towards the end of the show. My last question: is this a once-off event? Is it going to be annual? How is it going to be? And what's your vision for how the engagements will go?
This is not a once-off event. This is a movement that we are starting. We are starting an entrepreneurship movement to change the status quo. We have to change things as they are. You see, there is a bad thing where something that is wrong becomes a norm. You know, it has become a norm that we are invisible. You know, in entrepreneurship, you know, you find us there and there and there. You know, there are people who say our business is the taxi industry. That's nonsense. Taxi industry is one of our businesses. We have to go to retail.
Yes.
We have to go to clothing. We have to go
to jewelry manufacturing.
We have to go to jewelry.
We possess how many natural things?
Yeah,
your gold, your diamonds.
Can I tell you? I was driving some years ago a small Toyota Tez. I took my Toyota Tez to a mechanic here in town. It had a problem. The quotation was about 6,500 rands. I'll do everything 6,500 rands with parts and everything. I didn't have that money.
Yeah.
I went to a mechanic as Punza. That mechanic did that job for me for 300 rands. 300 rands. And now here is my question.
Difference.
Here is my question. Why is he charging less in the township? It's because of how he sees himself. It's because of this mentality of hustling and not entrepreneurship.
The perception.
If mechanics in the township were to charge as the ones in town charge, people will respect them. It will mean they also respect themselves. It will mean they also see themselves as entrepreneurs. And you'd be amazed. The knowledge of mechanics in townships is amazing. They know what they are doing.
Most of these guys were some way, somehow formally trained or apprenticing for these major companies.
Yes.
And at some point they said, but there's nothing more to learn here.
I'm telling you.
I can do this right there in my garage. I've got space.
Yeah.
I've got a yard for a little bit of a scrap yard.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah.
Some grow to come back to the city.
Yeah.
Something that's
Yeah.
But others are very content and they're doing their thing. They're doing what they do.
Yeah.
Of course, it's got levels.
You hire a pool guy to come and clean your pool. And, they come once a week for 4 weeks, four times a month. And the charge is $600. Others are 500 rands. You go to the company, a pool company, to do your pool for a month. Now, they also come once a week, and the charge is about 2,800. And I think, and the cheap guy is a black guy, by the way. He lives here in Kopas, in Ompumelelo, or in Tanzania. And I'm saying, why is he cheap? Why?
When he does the same work with the same chemicals, he travels the same distance.
Why is it cheap? So these are the things that we need to realign ourselves. We need to deal with the mentality. So I was saying, this is not a once-off, it's a movement. We want to own malls.
Yes.
We want to have a bank. We want to be property developers.
Yes.
We want to be all of these things. We want, as a movement, to have a property portfolio.
Yes.
I'm telling you. So there is a lot that we are going to achieve. This is about joining forces, joining brains, and having a vision to fix this mess. Because as things stand, it's a very, very big
It's messy.
It's a mess.
It's very messy. His name is Mr. Sizo Mlungwana from Sizo Mlungwana Properties, alongside other prominent business people and people who have made their mark in entrepreneurship. The program of tomorrow consists of the ethos of coming to the front, moving to the front.
Yes.
Between 6 and 9 p.m. at the ELIDZ. Unfortunately, no more warm bodies allowed to register. However, registration is not necessary. You just need to tune in to Keith Ngesi Digital Television and the Keith Ngesi Facebook page, where we will be streaming the entire thing live as well. So you don't get to miss out any of it, whether it be on your handheld device, your laptop, maybe you've got a smart TV, whatever the case may be. But do it, have a notepad in hand, because these things, a lot of jewels are going to be dropped there, and you don't want to let any of them hit the floor. They need to be absorbed and taken on, because if this is going to work, it's going to happen because everybody is pushing in the same direction. Mr. Mlungwana, thank you for your time. And best of luck tomorrow.
I'm so honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What a host.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And best of luck with the event we'll be watching.
Thank you.
It is now 6 minutes before 11.